Be quite honest with you, out of every other agency I've ever dealt with, I've always felt, or I feel very much to the fact that I believe Acuity is a partner. Okay, that's the best word I can use. Being in my position, being a general manager for a dealership, I'm in charge of the owner's pocketbook, meaning I'm held accountable for expenses. I feel I get that out of you guys. You know, I think Acuity looks at it and says, no, we're going to get more bang for our buck if we do this. Well, Acuity, you guys have a feeling for the business, and you also have, you're almost like a comptroller. You know what I mean? You look at all the numbers, you look at the growth, you look at the potential of where we might be able to expand, but we're taking baby steps. It's like our sister store finally went to another radio station, and you know, we're wanting to grow so fast that we want to be able to expand and maybe throw some more dollars out. But you guys are just saying, well, let's just make sure that this seed gets some roots and starts to grow. All right, and so we're just growing, and we're growing with you. And I don't think we'd be growing at this rate if it would have been, say, the previous advertising company or agency that we had before. Another advertising agency doesn't have the foresight that you guys do. You know, being in an auto mall, working with another professional agency, they have to take care of everybody, where you guys will emphasize on just us as if our dollar counts, meaning that you want to see us profitable, because when we become profitable, you become profitable. And Acuity has that mindset. They come in and they say, okay, what part of the market share have you got? Okay, what do we have to do to get you more market share? What do we have to do to help you move more units? And Acuity's always there. And the graphs and how detail-orientated you are is what's really appreciative. You're not just coming in saying, well, what do you want to do this month? You know, it's like, this is our plan for the next year. And if we need to deviate, let's deviate and make sure that it is consistent with our game plan. So it works out nice. Acuity's strategy is great. You know, they have you, the dealer, in mind, and not themselves necessarily in that order. You know what I mean? Well, what Acuity does is, what they've done for our facility is the repetition. You know, we're building on our name, we're building on our locale, and it's paying off. Yeah, well, one thing I found really interesting about Acuity is when we first actually met for you to get this account. Okay, I didn't interview you, you interviewed me. And you interviewed us because you wanted to know if it was a franchise, a dealership, a business that you wanted to take on to see if it was the right fit. And it turned out to be the right fit. Worked in a couple auto malls, and a lot of the companies that I've actually done business with in the past, it's always, they do a presentation on what they can do for you, and it's always been us out, you know, drilling down on them. It's the very first time I've ever had an agency come in to me and say, well, we want to ask you some questions, we want to see what your business model is, and we'll go from there. And it was interesting, and it wasn't quick. We spent a couple hours on that first meet and greet. I mean, we got a good chemistry going here, and we have increased our business 15–20% easy, you know, as far as market share. And every month has been up, and up. And where other markets have gone down, and down. When you compare us to some of the Bay Area dealers, some of them took double-digit drops when we took double-digit rises. And it's just been a good chemistry. Well, you know, when you always talk about team, everybody says there's no I in team, but with Acuity, it's completely different. It's just like one of your employees walking into your office and say, hey, what do you think about this? You know, being open-minded and thinking outside the box. You guys are really good about thinking outside the box. Everybody loves month end. Got to get all the deals in. Got to try and hit the number for the manufacturer. And then your ad agency comes in and says, well, what do you want to do this month? Well, what do you mean, what do I want to do this month? What do you have planned for us this month? Well, do you want to do the same thing? More radio, direct mail piece, TV. Well, that's your job. You know, handle it. Acuity, we've got it all mapped out. We know what we're doing. I can tell you what we're going to be doing next July 2014. I mean, I know what our expenses are going to be each month for the next 12 months. It's down on paper, and if we want to change something, we can. If you need to accrue something because we decide we want to do something a little bit different, you got the time to do it. It's not panic mode. And Acuity has that strategy in place. We've been with Acuity for about a year now, and they know what we've done each day of each month, and as far as new and pre-owned sales, and what we have to do to stay on track each day of each month, and what we have to do to expand and sell more product. We do a weekly call, and that's just kind of just little stuff. But when you come in and you sit down and we start hitting all the numbers, yeah, you learn a lot about the store. And your input, you have a lot of other different makes and different models, and you're in different markets, and you have a lot of positives to throw back our way. And well, ever since we've gotten Acuity, if any other ad agency comes up to the door, I just kind of say, thank you, I have no intentions of changing. If you're going to consider looking for another advertising agency, if you don't get Acuity, you need to have your head examined. I seriously. I've been in the automotive industry for over 30 years and worked with other manufacturers. Not that many, but I've been with this dealer principal for 20 plus years and worked for 3 different brands under his umbrella. And by far, you guys outshine everybody else that we've dealt with in years past, and even manufacturers agencies. So there's some kudos to you guys about that.